Hi, this is Mike from the Hot Colors Powder Coating YouTube channel. Have you ever tried to powder coat a louver or a shutter or anything with stacked metal parts arranged sort of close together and you had a hard time with it? Well, let me go ahead and tell you, to be honest with you, it's just a pain in the butt to do stuff like that. But today, we're going to do some louvers and I'm going to show you how we do them. Stick around.
All right, well, that's kind of funny. We opened the video and the part's already done. That's kind of weird, isn't it? The reason why we're doing that is because the one that I'm spraying next is in the oven. And it's a little hot in there to film. You know, 400 degrees, I draw the line. I can't work in more than 100. But basically what we got here is louvers. Oh, they're terrible. Everybody hates these things. A lot of people have a really hard time with them trying to get down and y'all see how beautiful that is, don't you? Yeah, you see it, you see it. Yeah, it's not easy to do. This side, just so you understand we ain't bullshitting. Yep, they're pretty much a pain in the butt. But they're not impossible to do, as you can tell. I'm going to show you today how to do these. A lot of people struggle with them. A lot of people struggle with getting it in the corners and all that, and it's all about spraying it hot, being quick enough to keep it hot long enough. That's what it's about. You got to kind of hustle with this. And this is a whole different one. This is the one I just got outside so you can kind of see what the color looks like. It's a satin black. I never used this material before. It's Vitec or Vivtech or something like that. I never used this material before, so I had them send over one panel in the box of material so I could try it before I agreed to do it, and it's fine. There's no issues with it. A lot of people struggle with these, struggle to get it down into this is a little better view of how the inside is powder coated just as well as the outside. No missed spots, pretty as a peach. So it's a challenge to get it in there. It takes about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less than that to spray one of these. And that bad boy's 400 degrees when you bring it out. So yeah, they're not the greatest thing in the world to do, but they're not terrible either. I used to do shutters for Shutter Outlet, for a place around here called Shutter Outlet. Man, they wore me out. And I wouldn't do a shutter, I wouldn't do a louver like this I bet I haven't done a louver like this in 15 years, maybe longer, because they wore me out that bad on them. And this is a friend of mine, they own a fabrication shop. They do their own powder coating, but they're just like upside down busy. And he wanted me to help him out, so here we are. But we got this one, and this is the one that was in the other shot that I showed you earlier. That's that dude sitting there. There's one inside the hot box. And then we got all of these that I've already done and the two Bambinos over there. So, you know, it gives you a pretty good idea of what we got going today. We're just finishing this up for them. They're gonna bring back 9 more, I guess. Not bring back, but bring 9 more, you know, bare ones to do. I don't know if they weren't sure how fast I could do them, so I did 8 of these. Well, I did the 2 Bambinos and 6 in a day. So 8 pieces total in a 7-hour period. So that was pretty good, not bad. So we're gonna finish up these, and when these are washed, you know, etched and washed. So you have to make sure you get all the water out of them. So I baked them for like 20 minutes at 400 degrees just to get the water out. Plus we're preheating and we're spraying them hot. So when it comes out hot, we'll be set up on that, and I'll show you how I spray this and my method. And maybe if you're struggling with this, try that method and see how it works. If you're not used to hot flocking, okay, we're gonna go ahead and call this out. If you're not used to spraying material hot, you might want to refrain from trying this, just to say, because there's a technique to spraying hot, and it's You know, you got to get that down before you can do stuff like this. That's for sure. There's no question about that. So I just wanted to point that out, because if you haven't sprayed stuff hot before and then you just jump into this and try to do what I'm doing, you're liable to turn it into a piece of poop. So you got to be careful with not getting too much on it. You just got to know by looking at it where you're at and how much, But then at the same time, you have to have enough on it so it flows out smooth like you see. That's what you want. You want nice and smooth, pretty, beautiful. All right, so we're going to wait on this other one to heat up. It's probably got another 5 or 10 minutes to heat, and then we'll come back and we will show you how I put the material on, and that'll be that. We'll bake it, and maybe I'll show you what they look like again, the one I sprayed. I'll just bring it out and show you, but it's not gonna look any different than this. You know, if I film this one again, you wouldn't know the difference, but I won't do that. I'll film the one I sprayed. All righty, well, we'll see you here in a little. All right. We're gonna have full fans on, everything rocking. All right, so we are going to, this thing is pretty hot. This one's a different shape than the last one that I just showed you. I mean, it's a long and skinny, but it's all the same thing. You wanna make sure you kind of shoot down in there. And there is kind of a spot here that is going to cause all kinds of issues if you don't attend to it now. There's a lot of place in there where it ain't going to want to go if you don't do it now. Matter of fact, I'm going to jump around the other side and do this same thing over there, because I'm worried that it's going to cool too fast and I'm not going to be able to get in here. Once you get one coat on it, it pretty much will double coat pretty easily. I don't know why that is. It's a weird phenomenon. There's another Faraday cage right here where this this lower louver is about an 1/8 inch away from the frame. You want to make sure you get it in there too. That's very important. What happened to me, this is actually Monday. So what happened to me on Friday is somebody, that would be me, didn't turn on the audio for the shot. So I got some great video of me spraying the other piece, but there ain't no audio. So it's just somebody moving their lips and there's no blabbering. Probably make a better video. But you know, that wasn't the way it was intended. They were supposed to be blabbering. Somehow I didn't hit the blabber button. I didn't get any blabber. All right, it's the opposite on this side. The one that's close is at the top. And man, you got to get that now because it's close. And I'm having to shoot this from both sides to get it. No likey. It does not want to go in that spot right there. I'm going around to the other side to try to shoot through it, I guess. I'm not happy with that at all. Whoops. For some reason I don't have a clamp on this hose. Yeah, the long skinny ones are, there's less upright but more louver. Does that make any sense? So I don't know how that's going to work out time-wise as far as spraying them goes. I guess we're going to find out here in a minute. But yeah, the whole idea of this is to try to get this on there as quickly as you can while it still has some heat in it. Because once the heat's gone and you didn't get it where it's going to be a booger, oh man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I like to try to get every bit of it if I can get it. I don't like to see any bare areas. Bare area is no bueno. Yeah, I think these are actually going to spray longer than the short, skinny ones. Because it takes so much more time to get it in the louver. You kind of have to let the gun put it in there. You just got to wait for it to deposit it. And it's slow going because of the Faraday cage created by the next louver and the next louver. So one of those things where you just got to try to get it all in there. And the easiest way to do it is keeping it hot. It's a race against the clock. You know, honestly, if I was doing this in the winter, it'd be even more of a panic. Because when it's 50 out, this thing cools rapidly. And it already cools pretty damn quick. You know, just being in the summer here, it's probably 90 in here right now. And it cools real quick. As you notice, it's not melting anymore. Now we've gone through melt into dust up. So basically the moral of the story here is to try to get everything that's going to be a booger when it's hot. You know, and you got your gun turned down just a smidget. You're not a full bore. And then you're going to go around and put a nice, it's sheening a little bit here, is what I call this. Yep, it's melting around on the frame. So she still got some heat in her. We did pretty good on this one. We are fresh out of the oven, 400 degrees. Oh, I don't want that. No, don't do it. You want to try to not rub the hose on it if you can. I mean, gee. No, we're good. All right. We're going to try something new today. We're going to try bringing y'all in here with it. Well, let's turn the booth on. If not, y'all are going to get covered. You ain't going to be able to see nothing. Got to turn on Big Daddy Booth. All right, let's do it. See if we can do this with one hand. Getting it all down in there, as you can see. See this? This is hot. Now, if you notice, it is melting as I go, and I'm just pumping it in there. See there?
can't show you too much. I got to fly because you're just going to have to look as we go. Just get you a good look. All right. Sometimes you're not going to get it all from this side. You're just trying to drop as much as you can in there. See that little crevice? Oh, it's a no-go. See this little crevice? This is a real bad spot. You can already see how it doesn't want to go in there. Now I got the gun down pretty good so it doesn't try to lay it out like, whew. On some things I got the gun up a lot higher than this, and I'm just trying to get the stuff to cover without slopping it on there. You know, as you see, it takes kind of a slow pass, kind of close to make it. I don't even know what I'm filming. I might not even be looking at what I'm supposed to be looking at. Maybe you can't see anything. All right, we're gonna go to the other side. Let's get this. And see how it melts right away? All right, see how this, you couldn't get this from the other side, but that's to be. And in here, same thing. In here, you got to get on down in there. Can't be having no bare spots. Kind of going at an up angle because the louvers are at an up angle, and then I'm directing my fan so that the fan kind of goes in there. All right, so same thing on this side. You got this tight spot right here. We're trying to get it in there. As you see, it does not want to cover that very little edge. Same thing down here. Now, all that you see in front of this has blown through from the other side, which is kind of what we're looking for. Every once in a while, you got to smack the tip to, or the gun to clean the tip. I know that sounds funny, but that's exactly how it's gotten to be. If not, you'll get spittle on it, which I got it on one of the other ones, and I'm not happy about it. But it wasn't from not cleaning the tip. It was from stepping on the hose. There's a lot of things. This is one of those things that's fraught with peril, as they would say. Everything that you do in here can screw you up, including stepping on the hose. You see down here how we got a hose that leads to the gun? Well, if you're spraying and you step on that, not only does it stop the flow of the material, but it accumulates right there where you stepped on it. As soon as you get off of it, all over your, and if it's hot, you just screwed the pooch. Because you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't blow it off, like if it's cold. So it's very important. See, watch this. See the bullshit coming out? Now, I hate like hell to beat my gun against the cart, but I got two arms. I got a camera in one and a gun in the other. I mean, usually I beat it against my thigh, but the just showing you what I'm trying to do. That's why I smacked it against the cart. Probably don't want to do too much of that if I can keep from it. Cart smacking with the gun. Now what we're going to do is go in here and fill in the field, the frame I call it. And when you're spraying hot, see how it doesn't get it all the way there right there in one pass, but that second pass tightens it right up. And it's hard to tell if you got it in one pass because of the, it's got to melt, you know, and when it's real hot and it melts right away, it's real easy, but when it's not so hot and it takes, 5 or 10 seconds for it to melt, then this is what you get. All right, we're back in here in the louver. Now what we're trying to do, you see up there at the top, we're just trying to get that covered right there. While we got a little heat in it, we're gonna try to cover that right there up. And that's really the name of the game here, is doing it fast enough to have enough heat in it for it to give it to you. Because this is one of those things that when they're cold, I'm not saying you can't do it. I mean, I don't tell anybody they can't do anything, because they'll do it just to prove you wrong. That's just, any of you got an old lady at home? Yeah, you know. They'll do it just because you said they can. What do we got going here? We're just about out, but we got enough to finish this for sure. What we need to do, since we're so low in the bucket, is crank that dude up. I think I'm gonna go 2 numbers. See how crazy this gets. See, here's one thing about powder coating. It's siphon feed, right? I'm trying to not whip the camera around like that. It's a siphon feed thing. So the lower it is in the bucket, the material is in the bucket, the farther it has to lift it. So sometimes you need a little bit more on your lift air to get her on up there. Now, if you've noticed, I've sprayed this hot enough on that side where it's still melting over there. And we're just trying to fill these louvers in. If you see that little stripe that's down there that I'm filling in as I go by, you got to get the gun just at the right angle and the right speed, and it'll do it. Also, the voltage matters too. If you got too much voltage, it makes it harder. But then if you don't have enough voltage, it doesn't go on, which kind of defeats the purpose of the whole thing. This is this gives you a real good glimpse into what hot flocking looks like. Now you notice that I'm going over this where it's melted. Now let's look at this. See how it's shiny right there? And right there it's not? Well, what's happened is we've transitioned from melting to not melting. Now what we want to do is cover up any of that shine that's left on here or bare metal. At this point, we kind of want to make sure that we get our metal covered, because that's a good indication that you lost your heat already, because we got no more. But we have enough heat to keep the electrons in the metal excited enough where we're not having back ionization issues either, because we got a lot of gun time just in concentrated areas. And that is usually the nemesis of powder coating. Then the whole idea of powder coating is to keep the gun moving. And I'm trying to do that, but you got to go slow to let the gun do the work, but then you got to go fast enough so it doesn't back ionize. You don't want a concentration of solar wind all in one spot. So you got to try to kind of keep it moving, but then at the same time, you got to get it. Now you see how we're dusty now? We're all no shine, none of that left. We want to make sure all that shine's covered up. That's what we want to do. And if we can cover that shine up with a little bit of heat left in it, oh yeah, that's what we like. Well, not that compressor turning on, but hopefully you didn't hear that. If the voice isolation's working that I'm fixing to buy, you didn't hear that compressor turn on, or it was very muffled. Now you see how you see that sheen? I'm always talking about covering up the shine. Do you see that? That's what we're covering. If you notice, as we go, that sheen covers up. All right? That's because we're putting another coat on, basically. Now look at that top rail. See how we don't have any shine in it anymore? That's what we're doing. That's the whole idea of the second, you know. The first, I call this an ollie double. I have a partner, a business partner, my first powder coating shop named Oliver. And he figured out that you could spray it hot, get all the areas you want, and then as it cools, just never stop spraying it and get the whole thing. And I call it an ollie double. So it's technically it's a double coat, but it's an ollie double. There's no bake in between it. So it all works. See there, see how it's dusty? And down here, we got a little bit of sheen. Not a lot, just a little bit, but you want to cover that up. So it's not, with this black, it's probably not a huge deal because it's going to be fairly even. But like when you do metallics or something and you, oh man, the metallic will be jacked up in that area. All right, so then, see what we got down here. This is our bucket. We're gonna agitate it a little bit. Yeah, she's about empty. I got a bunch more of this material, but this is the last panel of the day. I just don't want to put more in there. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Let's walk around here, and we're gonna shut the light out. Woo! Boogeyman. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk around and inspect. See how you can see that it's all powdery in between there? And I can look through here and I can see. This is the inspection part. This is the don't bite me in the ass, please part. You know, because if you miss a little area here, now you see how it's shiny right there at the top? I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but right there at the top is a little shiny. So you make a mental note of that. You say, oh, there's a holiday, found one. You want to make sure you get the frame good. We're going to go around the edges of that because I don't want to, oh, and look. I don't know if you look right there in the top of that corner, I don't know if that's showing you, that's what a holiday looks like. And now watch. Let me put my light hat back on. We're gonna see if we can focus in on it. Watch it. Didn't want to go in there, did it? Well, it did. Now you see how there's no, that's gone. There you go. You got to see a holiday disappear right before your eyes. Let's do this one. Oh, yeah. They got down on that ass. See, them little H-shaped returns, man, let me go ahead and tell you, they ain't easy. This side, the ends, they're not like in a hole, they're not bad at all. Whew, the other ones that are in a hole, they're terrible. We're going around the edge one time just to say we did it. 2 times. Let's go around the other side and inspect your gadget a little bit more. You see, this is where the nitty-gritty comes down. As you're looking all on them louvers for anything shiny, anything out of place, it all should be silky, velvety looking. You hear that thing creaking? I don't like it. I had one of them, it popped, you know? And then I noticed there was like a little metal showing on the edge, so it must have expanded, and I was like, oh, this is like a moving target. It came out fine though. All right, I think that we are ready to put this in the oven and clean the damn camera off. This gives you a real good idea what it looks like when it's, you know, there's that cracking again. You heard that live on camera. Turn the light back on. But that's how you do it. That's a louver for you. It's going to be pretty nice. All right, this is the finished product. This is the one I did the, or I think I'm going to do the time lapse. Oh, did I do a time lapse on that? I don't remember what I did. This might be the one that I filmed from, this is the first one that you saw, I believe. I don't remember which one it is. I did 4 of these today, so it's hard to tell you. But you can see that it's in there pretty good. I mean, we got them in there deep. The whole inside of that channel, no holidays. Come out good. This is a nice material. I mean, all kidding aside, it's very nice. So that just pretty much sums up the louvers. You know, I'm just wanted to do a video on how a lot of people have trouble with them. They're not that difficult if you attack them in a systematic manner, and they're beautiful. All right, we'll see you guys next time.